This is how the incoming president of the Oxford Union responded to the news that Charlie Kirk had been shot at an event in Utah yesterday. He said on the committee WhatsApp chat, "Charlie Kirk got shot, let's fucking go." And this is the man who is about to be the president of the prestigious Oxford Union Debating Society, which, to use its own words, is the last bastion of free speech. It's been around since 1823 and has a fantastic long-standing reputation and commitment to free speech to uphold. They are committed to voicing people, giving a voice to people with contentious opinions rather than wishing for them to be shot dead. Do you really think that this man is fit to be the president of this society? This is the man in question. This is George. He is the president-elect of the Oxford Union, and come January, he will be the man running the show. I have a few concerns, it is fair to say. And he didn't just stop at WhatsApp, he took to Instagram, to all his Instagram followers as well, and said, "Charlie Kirk got shot, lol." Just laughing about it, as if human lives are a laughing matter. This is honestly vile, in my opinion. And he also took to his Instagram stories. And to give you a bit of context, George debated Charlie Kirk when he visited the Oxford Union. I do have some concerns about the outfit choice. Why are you debating a man as well known as Charlie Kirk wearing slippers and trackies? But that is not the biggest matter we are talking about today. So he has, after debating him, feels like he is in a competition with Charlie Kirk and decided to post these two stories on his Instagram after finding out that Charlie Kirk had been shot. He puts this Family Guy meme on his story saying, "I'd like to file a claim," and then he posts this where he's looking at the news about Charlie Kirk being shot, saying, "We're so up right now on the scoreboard." He's basically saying he's got a point up on Charlie Kirk after the debate, which maybe he feels he won, maybe he feels he lost, because Charlie Kirk has now been shot. I think this is absolutely vile. And as I said, the Oxford Union has for many years prided itself on platforming people who have contentious opinions, allowing them to be heard out, allowing them to be questioned by members of the chamber, because the Oxford Union and its members believe that sunlight is the best disinfectant. If someone has a bad opinion, you should want them to A, be alive, and B, have a chance to be heard and have a chance to be questioned. I think there's something very, very at odds with the mission of the Oxford Union, what George has said. I really, really do. Yes, he has a right to say what he wants to say. Yes, if you want to say something disgusting, you can say it. But don't expect to be president of the Oxford Union at the same time. He needs to resign. I am a proud member of the Oxford Union. I care about its principles. I care about its reputation. And I want it to withhold its brilliant reputation as determined to stand by free speech in a climate where you have people trying to cancel you for platforming people left, right, and centre. He has to go. I was so proud to be an Oxford Union member when Kathleen Stock came and spoke. The president at the time stood really firmly when he had all these societies across Oxford demanding that this event be cancelled. This cancellation campaign went on for months and months and months. You even had the Oxford Student Union, different to the Oxford Union, saying they will pull the funding, which the Oxford Union does desperately need. They will pull the funding if they platform Kathleen Stock. But they stood by their principles and they allowed her to have a voice. And I tell you what, the people in that room, I was sat in that room, I was at that event, there were people in that room who came in vehemently disagreeing with her, heard her out, and then realised, actually, her views aren't insane. Her views are quite reasonable now I've had a good listen to her. It was absolute chaos. You could barely hear the woman because the protest outside was so loud, and they had speakers and were blaring music to try and drown her out. And you even had, as you can see in this picture here, we had one protester manage to get in and they glued themselves to the floor. We had to pause the event for half an hour whilst the police came in and unglued this individual. But Oxford Union, they went ahead with the event. Why? Because, to use their own words, once again, they are the last bastion of free speech. They stand by their principles, and I am proud to be a member of this organisation, but I will be very disappointed as a member to see this man, George, running the show after what he has said about Charlie Kirk. If I were a prominent figure on the right and I was invited to be at the Oxford Union, I would be very concerned for my safety. When you go there as a high-profile individual, you're trusting them. You're trusting their security. You are trusting that they will keep you safe and they will treat you well whilst you are there. I would be concerned as someone who has, let's say I was invited to the Oxford Union to speak, as someone who is a supporter of Charlie Kirk, who is a supporter of Donald Trump, who is a supporter of Nigel Farage. I would not trust this man to keep me safe if I was speaking there, given that he has celebrated Charlie Kirk being shot. This is an absolute disgrace. Now, the Oxford Union, what can they do about this? Well, the Oxford Union, they can't just boot the guy out with a click of the fingers. There is a constitution and there is a process. The easiest thing would be for him to resign, and that is what I am calling for. So, George, if you see this, please resign and make everyone's lives easier. Because if he does not resign, the only option is for him to go to the tribunal for breaching the Constitution. He can go to the tribunal for breaching the Constitution if he is believed to have brought the association into disrepute, which I would say he very much has done by saying this about Charlie Kirk, not just on his WhatsApp chats, but broadcasting his views to all of his thousands of Instagram followers in Oxford. This is unacceptable. George has to go. How on earth, what kind of a person do you have to be to celebrate the death of a human? I think that it just shows how insanely divided our society is. I've seen countless videos, and maybe we'll do a video with a compilation of these, of liberals celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, all giddy and excited on TikTok. What kind of a world are we living in where we are so divided that we think the people that we politically disagree with deserve to get shot and deserve to die? Let's go back one more time to what George said on the WhatsApp chat to his Oxford Union committee. Charlie Kirk got shot. Let's fucking go. And what did he say on his Instagram to all of his followers? Charlie Kirk got shot, lol. This man needs to resign now.